What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel. My name is Tristan. I'm an avid photographer, videographer, wildlife conservationalist. I really like wildlife in general. Steve Irwin was and continues to be to this day, my biggest hero. So I picked up a pack. I'm going to go through with that with you right now. A little bit of backstory though. I was in the Marine Corps for a year and a half. I got a bad hip on this side, on my left side. That's going to be looking at the right side for you guys. And I've been going through and rehabbing myself, as well as having some advice given to me, or some prescriptions I should say, from a friend who is a licensed physical therapist and or exercise therapist. Allergies, man. And they've been giving me a lot of stretches, specific movements for hip abductions and adductions, bringing it in, crossing it over, and then extensions. Looking back about a year ago, I'm gonna move this to the side real quick, but I was struggling with walking. When I was still in Fort Lee, I had to use a cane throughout the winter, and my hip would just seize up in the main tendon where you can typically feel your leg being lifted. It's the hip flexor. And it absolutely was excruciating. Now, time's passed and I've been able to run up to 1.5 miles at a 10-minute per mile pace. And I feel pretty good about being able to go back out into nature and enjoy that quite a bit. Now, I put a post on Facebook on my personal page talking about, like, I know there are people in the Marines who are still following me and maybe are interested in doing stuff like this, not just Marine Corps style, but for happiness and well-being, just getting away from things in society and recouping in your own mind. And that's really why I want to do it. Plus, I want to get into wildlife photography, and this is a great way for me to do that, combining two things that I love. Now, the first hike I'm probably going to go on, it's not going to be any longer than 10 miles. I'll split it up over 2 days, 5 miles a piece, and just see how I feel with that. And then as I progress and I read my body, which is something I'm really into, is just listening to your body wholeheartedly, taking what it's telling you. This hurts, stretch more, don't stretch as much, it's cold out. Pay more attention to stretching, especially when it's cold, especially for my hip. But before we get into the whole pack, I just want to go over my favorite pair of shoes I've ever bought in my life. And those are the Obos. These are Obos O-Fit. I can't read it, Ensole. I'm not sure what they're called specifically, but these are Obos. I wear a 10.5, 10 wide. This is a 10 wide. I will be putting insoles in this to help with my lower back, which I do have some back problems going on with the hip and my knees. These are completely waterproof. Nothing's getting through these as long as the water doesn't go above a quarter up your leg, I would say here. I love these to death. Whenever it's colder out, when I worked at a car dealership as a car lot attendant, my shoes and combat boots that I would wear from when I was in the Marines, they would often get waterlogged and soaked straight through. So I went to REI. These are a bit pricey. I paid $250 for these. Well worth the money, and as well, I bought 3 pairs of, what were they? Mountaineering Smart Wool socks, and they are outrageously warm. So these are a pair of boots I'll be keeping in my arsenal and just upgrading if these get worn down to the point of no return. And I'm definitely going to keep on wearing Smart Wool's products throughout the duration of my life if I'm doing anything outdoors. So with that aside, let's go ahead and jump right into the pack. Now, taking it off, you have the same 2 buckles. You have the buckle here, and then you've also got a chest strap, which I did not have buckled. And whenever you take off the pack, just loosen it up, obviously, so you can slip it off pretty easily. Now, this pack that comes with a couple key features that are a little bit different from newer models, or even the general consensus of what backpacking packs should be like. The first one is, I'm going to take this off real quick. There's just a drink carrier. Get this out of the way. It's a drink carrier for my dog. Just pour water in here, feed him out of it, whatever. Drop that to the side. So the first one is right here. I'm actually going to start up here. So you got the overhead compartment, which has a 2-way entry. If I turn this around here, it's got a true weight entry starting right here. You can zip in, put anything that's beneficial to you and that what you want to keep with you zipped right here. And then it also, on the underside of it, you have access to the area where your rain fly is kept. So if I dump this, you can see right here I had it unzipped, which is why my hand went all the way through a minute ago. But you've got access here to the back, and if I go ahead and zip this back up, you can put whatever you need in here. Where you at? You got your rain fly right here. Unzip, and it pulls out. And you've also got what looks like a couple. Oh, this is a day pack setup. So just unbuckle it. This is a shoulder strap. I'm just going to stuff that back in there. I did not know that. I just discovered that about this bag. So you can use that as a rain or as a secondary. Ooh, stay up here. Stuff that back in. It's got lumbar support that I'd say is pretty close to the Baltoro 75 liter by Gregory. The open back right here gives you a lot of room to work with when it comes to breathability, and it's got stays in here, so when it's pulled tight, it stays away from your back. The mesh stays close to it, but this will keep the main pack off of your back, which just increases the breathability of it. It's got a internal frame system. You can see the two mainstays right here. I don't know if you guys can actually see that, but a couple little silver linings right here. And then on the other side, this is adjustable, so you just pull it and readjust it. Pull it out. Flip it over. Now this is where it gets a little bit different here, guys. The very front of it zips from the underside. So you don't have a main sleeping bag compartment. You open this all the way up, and you've got access to your entire compartment, which if you just need to unpack and get camp set, that's great. But if you're just wanting to pull out a sleeping system before anything else, it's a pain in the butt because then you have to take out everything else on top of it. Of which I've got a plate for myself, my sleeping pad, and just for weight examples, I got a little thing of peanut butter in here and a can of peas. I've got a couple of oatmeal deals and a couple of oatmeal packets in there as well. I'm going to stuff this back in here. And then behind everything else in this pack is my tarp. Now I've got a 10-foot by 12-foot tarp that I picked up from Meyer. I have not used it yet. I'm going to try it out when I go out this week down to Brown County for a night and see how that goes. You good, bro? But switching this around, you get the main compartment. Move this back a little bit. There you go. Get the main compartment, just a pull tab. Open it right up. And I've also got my cookware in here, and here is my tarp right there. My apologies if the video is a little blurry along the edges. I'm using my 10 to 18 millimeter lens for this video right now, and it vignettes pretty badly, so I apologize for that. Now, for the second, I got two different pouches here. One, I keep my pillow in. I keep this pretty accessible just in case I want to lay down, give my head some rest, my shoulders some rest, whatever. And then I've got 2 pouches of oatmeal. I'm trying to keep my calories higher, considering I'm getting back into weightlifting quite a bit. And I've got 2 different spork sets. One comes with a fork, bottle opener, and a wine bottle opener, as well as just a beer one. Then another one comes with another spork. I don't know what these Allen wrench or hexagonal things would be used for, maybe tents or anything like that. It also comes with another bottle opener, which you can see right here. I'll do B-roll of that because I know it's blurry. It wanted to focus my face the whole time. Now on the other side, I've got all my paracord on this side. I've got 3 things of paracord. This one's kind of unraveling. 1, 2, and 3, and then I've also got actually a fourth one in here. And then clipped on the outside on the opposite side, I'll pull it off for you here. Here's a little bit of paracord that I'll use when pitching up the tent. And what I'll do is I'll wrap this around the stick, feeding it through the stick itself, as well as the little hole in the tarp. I forget what it's called off the top of my head. And then I'll put a stick through that, and then it'll keep that tarp up. I'm going to stuff all this back in this pocket real quick, and we'll move on to some of the other straps, not mainly for compartment stuff. So you got 2 straps here, 1 on each side, and this is to pull that weight closer to your body. So after you have everything packed up, you're ready to go, you just grab a hold of this and yank it up, and then it pulls that load closer to your body so you got more support against your back. Same thing on this side. Now this side I actually didn't discover on the underside until earlier today. And I would assume this is for a sleeping pad because that's what this would have been used for in the Marines. I'm going to say it's probably the same thing. Now for this, unbuckle it. I could even put my tripod underneath this, and I will be experimenting with that if I could find a way to keep it tight so it's not swinging everywhere. Then you also have 2 loops here for whatever that would be used for. That I don't know. Just pull those tight. Bingo. No problemo. Oop, there we go. Now moving on to the hip belt. You have a mesh pocket right here on the left side of the pack, your guys' right, and that does not provide any water protection. This one, I have a feeling it might, although I don't know how well that will work. I'll be keeping camera batteries, my cell phone, a map, where I'm at, in this pocket here, unless it's a nice sunny day and it's not really raining. I'll keep a map or camera batteries or my drone batteries in this pocket. So that really concludes all the stuff about this pack. It's not very special, although I'm happy to finally have one that will work for my benefit, work for what I need it for. And I'm just all the more excited to have the opportunity to get out there and explore and document some wildlife and just have a good time. And I'll be taking you guys along on the first hike later this week. I'm going to Mississippi on July 9th to the 12th or 13th to see my dad and my 2 grandparents. I haven't seen any of them in a very long time, and I'm looking forward to that a lot. But for now, I'll see you guys later, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, hit that like button if you want to do so. It really helps me out. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of this month. If I don't hit that 100 by the second week of July. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you later. Peace.